Greetings, greetings. This message is powered by neuromelanin. In the words of the late great Dick Gregory, when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses, there's rules to go with them. You can't take those glasses off. You don't see things as you want them to be. You see things as they are, and you can't force anybody else to wear them. So I just wanted to come on and just let you guys know a couple things about my experience since I've been on this journey. And this is everything is just coming from my perspective and my experience. One of the first things that I started doing as I was doing a lot of research was to get some affirmations. Um, I think it was Billy Carson who suggested that we write down 20 great qualities about yourself. And throughout the day, I think about maybe 2 or 3 times a day, whatever those great qualities are, you just say them to yourself 3 times a day, every day for, I don't know, I think it was like 10 days or a week or something like that. And so that is something that was helpful for me because him being a scientist and a doctor, he said after you say those affirmations and all of those good qualities about yourself, that your DNA structure would actually start to change. And about all of those great qualities that you say about yourself, like, I am powerful, I'm trustworthy, I'm inspiring, I am aligned with the universe, whatever it is, just write them down and continually say those things to yourself. And I say those things right to this day, and it's been like 2 years. So, I had a routine. Uh, every day I woke up and I did a certain thing at a certain time. But that was one thing that I definitely made sure that I did, and that was say my affirmations. Also, in the beginning, what I did was I made an altar, and you put different things on your altar, whatever you'd like to put on there. But in my case, I used my fireplace. When you put pictures up on your fireplace, and I put pictures of my loved ones, of course, my family, and some of my relatives who's gone on. And I would light my light incense, and I would speak, and I would put water and crystals. And so for those of you who want to start getting into crystals, you can look them up for different things, activate them, and make them a part of your life. Of course, water, candles for your fire. So that was a very, very helpful thing for me, because that was my sacred place that I would go to and say my affirmations, and do talk to my ancestors. Also, you're going to have your haters out there. So I call them the O Squad, which is your opposition. Everybody got haters. You're going to have them no matter what. So if it's left up to everybody, whatever you're doing, they're going to have something to say about it. But this is a journey, hopefully, that if you've decided to do it, that this is personal. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else. So if they jump in and they trying to hate on you, then you let them hate. But the thing about this is when you start leveling up and they start seeing you doing good, being confident, feeling good about yourself, then they really, you're gonna give them something to hate you for. So again, also again, remember about your synchronicities, your numbers. I was standing in line the other day, and there was a girl in front of me, and she actually had a tattoo on the back of her neck, and it was 555. So again, pay attention to those receipts. Pay attention to your bank statements, store receipts, your card tags, that's in front of you. Just start just noticing things like that. And so I'm going to close this out with an experience that I had with my angel. One of my girlfriends had invited me to a restaurant, and the restaurant was Hell's Kitchen. And I'm sure that y'all probably heard of it. You know, there's this chef that's hollering and screaming at all of these potential chefs. But anyway, he has restaurants all over the country. So one of them opened in our area, and reservations was very, very hard to get. But she managed to get a reservation, and she asked me to go with her to Hell's Kitchen. And I went to Hell's Kitchen with her, and quite frankly, I wasn't I wasn't impressed. The food was just okay to me. But anyway, as a souvenir, I decided to take the napkin as a souvenir. And the souvenir, it was a napkin that was yay big, and it had a pitchfork on there, a pitchfork, and it of course it had Hell's Kitchen on there. So again, I went on and took that napkin and just saved it as a souvenir, just to let people know that, oh, I went to Hell's Kitchen restaurant, this and that. So I put the napkin on my stove. So anybody who knows me knows that I'm a little bit anal about things. So y'all know the handle that comes on your stove, right? The one that you pull out when you putting stuff in the oven. So I have these dish towels on the handle, and these dish towels have to be lined up exactly even, or it'll drive me crazy. So I have my dish towels, and I'm just going to use this as an example. This towel was actually the napkin that I had gotten from the restaurant, Hell's Kitchen, with the pitchfork on it. So I just put it on there, lined it on up, went on about my business. And I started noticing that my napkins started to move around in different positions. And I live alone. So I thought it was strange. And then I kept saying, well, why are my napkins moving around? I was like, okay, well, maybe my house is shifting or something. And I called my sister, and I was like, do your house shift? And so I'm trying to figure out why my napkins, sometimes I will fix them and make them exactly straight, and will come back an hour later and they would be like this. So I was like, this is crazy. Something else has got to be going on. I don't know what it is, but something's going on. So I thought, okay, well, there's a window in my kitchen. Maybe it's a breeze that's coming through the windows and just, knocking everything all out of place. So I go in the kitchen, wash the dishes, and all of a sudden, the Hell's Kitchen towel just jumped in the middle of the floor. And I'm in the kitchen now, right? I'm just in the kitchen washing dishes. I look, I see the towel in the middle of the kitchen floor. So I said, now, how in the world did that happen? There's nobody in here but me. There's no wind coming in the window. I'm taking it that the house is not shifting because the house is 40 years old. So I picked the towel up out the middle of the floor, put it back. As I was putting it back on the handle, then it hit me. It dawned on me that my angels wanted me to get that towel that said Hell's Kitchen out of my house. So it dawned, I picked up that towel, went in the closet, got some lighter fluid, that I do my barbecuing with, went out in the middle of the yard, sprayed it with lighter fluid, and took a match and just burnt it up. But I guess I said all of that to say is that this journey is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. It's not for the scaredy cats. It's not for, if you're scared of the boogeyman and all of that, this journey is definitely not for you. And that's why I'm telling you about, at least I told you the last time, about doing your shadow work, because it has you to deal with your fears and insecurities. And so you cannot be scared going down this journey, because being on this spiritual journey, you are going to see things like this. And you can't, and we wonder as we were growing up that you wonder why you see people in the middle of the room just rocking or boo, 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 boo. You don't really know what those people have gone through, but a lot of them was having spiritual awakenings, or have gone on a spiritual journey, or maybe they hitting something real good and they start seeing things, and then they ended up going crazy, and everybody is like, oh, they just crazy, they on drugs or whatever. But a lot of times it's because they're seeing things after being on the spiritual path. And so that's my message, you guys, just to let you know that you definitely can't be no punk going down this path. And should you do it, it's a wonderful journey. This is a great time to be alive, because there's some things happening on the planet, happening in our governments, and which is going to change lives, all of our lives. So I just want to tell you guys to hang in there. Hey, we can form a tribe and support each other. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. Um, like I said, it took me 2 years to uh, to get up enough nerve to just come on here and tell everybody about my experience. So because it's my job, or I feel like it's one of my jobs to inform you, to tell you about this path. So again, if you send me an email, shoot me a text, and let's talk about it. So thank you. See you next time.